Hello and welcome to The Culture Business. Today we're talking about scientific management, which is our first episode in our control series. Scientific management is interesting because it was theorized by Frederick Taylor and institutionalized by Henry Ford. And we're going to talk about how it motivates your employees and how it controls your employees and whether or not you should use it in your business. Scientific management really was the bridge between the old method of being a craftsman and making a product from start to finish all by yourself to what we see today, which is breaking the job down and making it a single part and bringing it all together at the end, which is a lot easier and requires a lot less training. There are three core aspects of what Taylor theorized when focusing on scientific management. Firstly, workers are only interested in money. Secondly, workers are too stupid to come up with the best way to operate. And even if they weren't stupid, they have an adversarial relationship between managers and low-level employees, so they wouldn't want to anyway. And this brought him on to his third point, which is the role of the manager is to organize and generate the best way to work a business scientifically. What's the most efficient way to organize your employees and organize your machinery? And Henry Ford is probably best recognized for his collaboration with Taylor and producing what we call the assembly line, and the idea that recording job times and standardizing commodities means that you can achieve economies of scale. So what are the main takeaways from scientific management, and should you be including it in your business? First of all, when considering employing scientific management into your business, you need to decide whether your jobs can be decomposed, recomposed, and then standardized. If it can't, you're likely doing a creative job role, or creative job roles are within your firm. And if you can, it's usually in a factory-based setting, or as we spoke about, an assembly line. This means that within your firm, you need to realize whether your jobs or roles can be broken down into the smallest parts possible and made the most efficient as possible. And then once this is done, can they be standardized? The buzzword here that is used across all academic literature involving scientific management is the one best way. Deviance from this one best way then needs to be restricted. There are 4 principles that Taylor created that are essential to scientific management, and deviance from these because of economic pressures is why scientific management today has been demonized. Firstly, the one best way that we spoke about needs to be well established. It needs to be developed through trial and error, and then when you've got the perfect way, you need to document it so it can be easily replicated. You need the right person in the right job role. This takes a bit of training, but because these roles aren't complicated, it's a very small amount of training. But what needs to be established is that the person doing this job is the best at the job. And what we see these days is deviation from point 3. There's not a commensurate wage that motivates employees to do these repetitive tasks. You need to stop paying minimum wage for these roles. In fact, Taylor and Ford both suggested a 30 to 100% increase in wage from the standard. And the final point, again, is where modern management perhaps trips up a little bit, and we'll be talking about the different forms of control later in this series. But being removed from your staff as a manager socially is a key to performing scientific management well. You need to avoid the whole friendly atmosphere because you are their boss. You are there to tell them what to do. So if you've followed all these steps and you've decided to stick with scientific management, what should you be looking out for? Or if you already run scientific management and things are going wrong, how can you fix them? There are 3 ways which scientific management often goes wrong, the first of which is boredom, and the later 2 stem from boredom as well. So this is really essential to get right. Repetitive and unstimulating jobs are often what scientific management revolves around. So people will get bored. You can't expect them to be able to do the same task day in, day out and not get bored. To fix this, you've got to get a bit creative. You can extend holidays, you can make teams, you can give bonuses for good performance, you can even create a 4-day work week. In fact, a work-life balance is a great way to stop boredom. And this is really all about experimenting and, again, scientifically finding the optimum point for your operation. Secondly, absenteeism is a big drawback of scientific management. To counteract this, you've got to make your employees understand how important they are. They may be a cog in a machine, but they are a vital part of the organisation. And you can increase their motivation through training or education and really tie them in to the idea of the company. And now they're not waking up in the morning to go and fix a single part on a machine. They're waking up in the morning to do good for the world through the output of this company. And from absenteeism, you get high staff turnover. Now, it's tricky with high staff turnover because there isn't a direct solution. Often, if someone's decided to leave a job, it's difficult to get them to change their mind. And if they do, are they really going to be the same motivated employee as they were before? Now, with this, as I said, there isn't a solution, but if you perform the other areas of scientific management well, then it is easy to swap people in and out of this job role. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in more content explaining business management techniques, then like this video, subscribe, and comment below what you'd like me to make videos of in the future.